Have you ever found yourself looking around your home, maybe during a quiet afternoon, and feeling a pang of emptiness? Not necessarily sadness, but a sense that something's missing. Perhaps the house feels a little too quiet, a little too still. Or maybe you're surrounded by people at a family gathering, but still feel a little disconnected. That feeling, that sense of isolation, can be especially prominent after we reach a certain age, often after 65. Retirement, the loss of loved ones, children moving away, life transitions can leave us feeling like the vibrant social connections we once had are fading, like cherished photographs slowly losing their color. And believe me, you're not alone in feeling this way. It's a surprisingly common experience and something many people grapple with. It's easy to brush it off, isn't it? Tell yourself you're just enjoying the peace and quiet, or that you're simply not a people person anymore. But ignoring that feeling of loneliness can have a real impact on our overall well-being. It can affect our mood, our energy levels, even our physical health. Studies have shown a link between social isolation and increased risk of heart disease, weakened immune systems, and even cognitive decline. It's a serious issue, and one that deserves our attention. That's why I wanted to talk to you about it today. Because feeling lonely isn't something you just have to accept as an inevitable part of getting older. It's something you can actively address and overcome. It's about recognizing that need for connection, and then taking simple, manageable steps to rebuild a fulfilling social life. In this video, we're going to explore 7 practical ways you can reconnect with others, rediscover your passions, and create meaningful relationships that bring joy and purpose back into your life. We'll talk about everything from embracing technology to rekindling old friendships and finding new communities that resonate with your interests. It's all about taking small, deliberate actions that can lead to a significant improvement in your overall happiness and well-being. So, if you're ready to start building a more connected and fulfilling life, then let's get started. The first step, and perhaps the most important, is to acknowledge and accept your feelings. It sounds simple, but it's often the hardest part. We live in a society that often glorifies independence and self-reliance. Admitting that we feel lonely can feel like admitting weakness, like we're failing somehow. But the truth is, needing connection is a fundamental human need, just like food and water. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Think of it like this. If you were feeling physically unwell, you wouldn't hesitate to seek medical help. You'd acknowledge that you need assistance and take steps to address the problem. Feeling lonely is no different. It's a sign that your social needs aren't being met, and it's perfectly okay to acknowledge that and seek ways to address it. So, the first step is simply to say to yourself, I am feeling lonely, and that's okay. Don't judge yourself, don't minimize your feelings, and don't try to suppress them. Just acknowledge them. Once you've acknowledged your feelings, you can start to take proactive steps to address them. Now, once you've acknowledged those feelings, the next hurdle is often overcoming that feeling of inertia, that sense of, where do I even start? And that's perfectly understandable. It can feel daunting to rebuild a social life, especially if you've been feeling isolated for a while. That's where our second point comes in. Start small and manageable. Don't try to overhaul your entire social life overnight. That's a recipe for overwhelm and disappointment. Instead, focus on making small, incremental changes that you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. Think of it as planting seeds. Each small action is a seed that, with time and care, can blossom into a beautiful and thriving garden. What does starting small look like in practice? Well, it could be something as simple as striking up a conversation with the cashier at your local grocery store, or calling a family member you haven't spoken to in a while, or sending a friendly text message to an old friend. These small gestures may seem insignificant, but they can have a surprisingly powerful impact on your mood and sense of connection. Another great way to start small is to identify one activity you enjoy and find a way to connect with others through that activity. You love gardening? Consider joining a local gardening club. Are you passionate about books? Join a book club. Do you enjoy walking? Invite a neighbor to join you for a daily stroll. The key is to find activities that you genuinely enjoy and that provide opportunities to interact with like-minded individuals. Remember, the goal is not to become the most popular person in town. The goal is simply to cultivate a few meaningful connections that bring joy and purpose into your life. And that starts with taking small, manageable steps. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just focus on making one small connection each day, and you'll be surprised at how quickly your social life starts to blossom. It's about building momentum, one small step at a time. Now, building on this idea of taking small steps, it's easy to get caught up in thinking about all the friends you don't have, or the social events you're not invited to. Instead, let's shift our focus to what we do have. This leads us to our third way to rebuild your social life. Reconnect with existing connections. Think about it. You likely already have a network of people in your life who care about you, even if you're not in regular contact with them. Family members, old friends, former colleagues, these are all valuable connections that can be rekindled. Reaching out to these people can be a much easier and more rewarding way to combat loneliness than trying to build entirely new relationships from scratch. How do you rekindle these connections? Again, start small. Send a birthday card to a distant relative. Give an old friend a call just to say hello and see how they're doing. Invite a former colleague out for coffee. These gestures show that you're thinking of them and that you value their presence in your life. Don't be afraid to be the one to initiate contact. Sometimes, people drift apart simply because life gets busy and communication falters. They may be just as eager to reconnect as you are, but they may be hesitant to reach out first. When you do reconnect with someone, focus on active listening. Ask them about their life, their interests, and their concerns. Show genuine interest in what they have to say. This will not only make them feel valued, but will also help you to build a stronger connection with them. And don't be discouraged if some connections don't rekindle as easily as others. People's lives change, and some relationships may simply have run their course. The important thing is to keep trying, to keep reaching out, and to nurture the connections that feel meaningful and supportive. Building a strong social network is like tending a garden. Some plants thrive, while others wither. The key is to focus on nurturing the plants that show promise and to not be discouraged by the ones that don't. Sometimes just a little watering is all an old friendship needs. Now that we've covered acknowledging your feelings, starting small, and reconnecting with existing connections, let's move on to some ways to actually find new meaningful connections and expand your social circle, which is equally vital. So, we've talked about acknowledging your feelings, starting small, and rekindling existing connections. These are all important foundations for building a stronger social life. But sometimes, you need to actively seek out new connections to truly combat loneliness and find a sense of belonging. And that leads us to our fourth point. Explore new hobbies and interests. Think about the things you've always wanted to try, but never had the time for. Maybe you've always been fascinated by painting, or learning a new language, or playing a musical instrument. Now is the perfect time to explore those passions. And the best part is, pursuing new hobbies and interests is a fantastic way to meet like-minded people and build new friendships. When you participate in activities you enjoy, you're naturally drawn to others who share those same interests. This creates a built-in common ground, which makes it much easier to strike up conversations and form connections. Plus, when you're engaged in something you're passionate about, you're more likely to be confident and outgoing, which can make you more approachable and engaging to others. Where can you find these new hobbies and interests? Start by looking around your community. Check your local community center, library, or senior center for classes, workshops, and social events. Many of these organizations offer a wide range of activities, from art classes and book clubs to exercise programs and volunteer opportunities. Don't be afraid to try something completely new. You might surprise yourself by discovering a hidden talent or passion you never knew you had. And even if you don't become an expert, you'll still have fun, learn something new, and meet interesting people along the way. Remember, the goal isn't necessarily to become the best at something, but to enjoy the process and connect with others who share your enthusiasm. Consider also online resources. Websites like Meetup.com can connect you with local groups and events based on your interests. There are online courses for everything from photography to creative writing, and many of these courses include online forums or chat groups where you can interact with other students. The possibilities are endless. The internet has opened up a world of opportunities to connect with people who share your passions, no matter where you live. And remember that first step of acknowledging your feelings. Applying that here, it's okay to feel awkward or unsure when trying something new. That's perfectly normal. Everyone feels that way at first. Just push yourself to take that first step, attend that first class, or join that first group. Once you're there, you'll likely find that everyone else is just as welcoming and supportive as you hoped they would be. The important thing is to put yourself out there and give it a try. You might just discover your new favorite hobby and make some lifelong friends in the process. Speaking of putting yourself out there, sometimes the biggest hurdle is simply overcoming that initial hesitation to approach new people. And that's perfectly understandable. It can feel intimidating to walk into a room full of strangers and try to strike up a conversation. But with a little bit of preparation and a friendly attitude, you can easily break the ice and start building connections. This ties into our fifth point: practice active engagement and conversation skills. Active engagement means being present and attentive in your interactions with others. It means truly listening to what they have to say, asking thoughtful questions, and showing genuine interest in their thoughts and feelings. It's about creating a connection, not just exchanging words. Conversation skills are all about being able to initiate and maintain engaging conversations. This doesn't mean you need to be a witty comedian or a captivating storyteller. It simply means being able to ask open-ended questions, share your own experiences, and find common ground with others. One of the best ways to practice active engagement and conversation skills is to simply start paying more attention to your interactions with others. When you're talking to someone, put away your phone, make eye contact, and focus on what they're saying. Ask follow-up questions to show that you're truly listening and interested. Open-ended questions are questions that require more than a simple yes or no answer. They encourage the other person to elaborate and share their thoughts and feelings. For example, instead of asking, "Did you have a good day?" try asking, "What was the best part of your day?" When sharing your own experiences, try to relate them to the conversation at hand. Share anecdotes that are relevant to the topic and that show your personality and interests. This will help the other person to feel more connected to you and to see you as a real person, not just a stranger. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Authenticity is key to building genuine connections. People are drawn to those who are genuine and honest, even if they're not perfect. So relax, be yourself, and let your personality shine through, and remember, practice makes perfect. The more you engage in conversations, the more comfortable and confident you'll become. So start small, practice your skills, and don't be discouraged by the occasional awkward moment. With a little bit of effort, you can become a master conversationalist and build meaningful connections with people from all walks of life. It's about creating a two-way street of communication, not just talking at someone. Now, all of this talk about hobbies and conversation might seem a bit self-focused. And while it's important to take care of yourself and pursue your own interests, one of the most effective ways to combat loneliness is to focus on helping others. This brings us to our sixth point: volunteer your time and skills. Volunteering is a win-win situation. It allows you to make a positive impact on your community while also providing you with opportunities to connect with others who share your values and passions. When you're working towards a common goal with others, you naturally build bonds and friendships. There are countless ways to volunteer your time and skills. You could volunteer at a local food bank, animal shelter, hospital, or school. You could tutor children, mentor young adults, or assist seniors. You could help clean up parks, plant trees, or build homes. The possibilities are endless. The key is to find a volunteer opportunity that aligns with your interests and skills. What are you passionate about? What are you good at? What kind of impact do you want to make? Answering these questions will help you to narrow down your options and find a volunteer opportunity that is both fulfilling and meaningful. Volunteering not only provides you with opportunities to connect with others, but also gives you a sense of purpose and accomplishment. When you're helping others, you're reminded that you have something valuable to offer the world. This can boost your self-esteem, reduce feelings of isolation, and bring a renewed sense of joy and meaning to your life. It shifts the focus from yourself and your own problems to the needs of others, which can be incredibly therapeutic. And don't underestimate the power of small acts of kindness. Even something as simple as offering to help a neighbor with their groceries or volunteering to read to children at the library can make a big difference in someone's life and bring you a sense of connection and fulfillment. Remember, volunteering is not just about giving back to the community. It's also about giving to yourself. It's about building connections, finding purpose, and making a positive impact on the world. And that's a powerful antidote to loneliness. It's about finding a place where you belong and where your contributions are valued. Now that we've explored these avenues, we need to address something that might feel daunting for some, but is incredibly important in today's world for connection. Let's move on to our final and often overlooked, but very powerful step in fighting loneliness. So, we've discussed acknowledging your feelings, starting small, reconnecting with existing connections, exploring new hobbies, practicing engagement, and volunteering. All incredibly valuable tools in rebuilding your social life. But as promised, there's one more crucial element, especially in today's world: embrace technology for connection. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Technology, that's for the young folks. I'm not tech-savvy, and that's perfectly understandable. Technology can be intimidating, especially if you didn't grow up with it. But believe me, learning to use technology can be a game changer when it comes to combating loneliness and building social connections. It opens up a whole new world of opportunities to connect with people, access information, and engage in activities you enjoy. Think about it. Technology allows you to connect with family and friends who live far away through video calls, email, and social media. You can join online communities based on your interests, participate in virtual events, and take online courses. You can even use technology to find local activities and events in your area. Video calls, for instance, are a fantastic way to stay connected with loved ones. Seeing their faces and hearing their voices can make a huge difference in your sense of connection, especially if you can't be together in person. Platforms like Skype, Zoom, and FaceTime are relatively easy to use, and they allow you to have real-time conversations with people all over the world. Many smartphones and tablets come with these apps pre-installed, and there are plenty of online tutorials and resources to help you get started. Social media platforms like Facebook can also be a great way to stay in touch with friends and family, share updates about your life, and connect with people who share your interests. You can join groups based on your hobbies, interests, or location, and participate in discussions, share photos, and make new friends. Online communities and forums can also be a valuable source of connection and support. Whether you're interested in gardening, cooking, travel, or any other topic, you can find online communities where you can connect with like-minded individuals, share tips and advice, and build friendships. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Many libraries and senior centers offer technology classes and workshops for beginners. You can also ask a younger family member or friend to help you get started. They'll likely be happy to share their knowledge and help you navigate the world of technology. And remember, it's okay to start small. You don't have to become a tech expert overnight. Just focus on learning the basics and gradually expanding your skills. Start with 1 or 2 applications that you find useful, and then gradually explore other features and functionalities. It's about building confidence and familiarity, one step at a time. The key is to be open-minded and willing to learn. Technology can be a powerful tool for combating loneliness and building social connections, but it only works if you're willing to embrace it. So take a deep breath, step outside your comfort zone, and start exploring the world of technology. You might be surprised at how much it can enrich your life. So there you have it. 7 practical ways to rebuild your social life and find meaningful connections after 65. We talked about acknowledging your feelings, starting small, reconnecting with existing connections, exploring new hobbies, practicing active engagement, volunteering, and embracing technology. It might seem like a lot, but remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Start with 1 or 2 things that resonate with you and gradually incorporate other strategies into your routine. The key is to be patient, persistent, and kind to yourself. Building a strong social network takes time and effort, but it's well worth it. And remember, you are not alone in this journey. Many people experience loneliness at some point in their lives, and there are resources available to help. Don't be afraid to reach out to friends, family, or professionals for support. Talking about your feelings can make a big difference in your overall well-being. I hope this video has given you some inspiration and practical tools to start building a more connected and fulfilling life. Remember, you deserve to be happy, healthy, and connected. And you have the power to create the social life you desire. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What are some of the ways you've found to combat loneliness and build social connections? What are some of the challenges you've faced, and how have you overcome them? Sharing your stories can help others who are going through similar experiences and create a supportive community. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content on healthy aging and emotional well-being. I regularly upload videos on topics such as nutrition, fitness, mental health, and social connection, all designed to help you live your best life at any age. Here's to building meaningful connections, rediscovering your passions, and living a life filled with joy, purpose, and connection. Remember, age is just a number, and it's never too late to create the social life you've always wanted. Stay connected, stay positive, and keep shining. Until next time, take care and be well.